Welcome to my Educational Technology Internship Presentation on Implementing Tech Tools. My name is Leslie Silverio. I am a first grade teacher at Baltimore City. I have been teaching at my current school, Moravia Park Elementary, for 3 years and have been teaching in Baltimore City for 8 years. I graduated with an elementary education degree from Towson University, and I am currently pursuing my master's in educational technology at Loyola University. During my internship, I knew that we had to make some changes due to our new virtual learning situation. So I decided that we needed to add more technology tool integration in my school setting. Some objectives that I wanted my participants to be able to focus on were being able to identify their current technology use through the ACOT model, be able to discover and implement more tech tools for virtual learning, and collaborate with our colleagues. I also wanted to utilize Tech Tuesdays throughout the school year to help provide additional support for my learners. And the last thing I wanted to be able to do was help my participants move up at least one stage on the ACOT model by the end of the school year. My administration wanted to be able to use this to help learners make our new virtual learning more interesting and engaging by using tech tools available. A little bit about the process. I started out with providing a survey to my staff and find out more information on what kinds of technology tools they knew already and what tools they were unfamiliar with. This helped guide me with choosing what my topics were for my professional developments. Then for Tech Tuesdays, I wanted to be able to provide additional support with other tools that we could focus on, like assessment tools, and a variety of things that other participants may need additional support with. And then throughout the process, I wanted to include reflections. I wanted to be able to know more about myself as an educational technology leader and be able to make improvements for the future. Starting with the survey that I gave out to participants, I had a variety of people be able to participate. I had special educators, resource staff, support staff, also general educators, and ESOL educators. Using the data from the survey, I was able to determine that there were 2 major technology tools that my staff needed more assistance with. I gave them a couple choices of things that I was already familiar with and wanted to be able to see which ones they needed most support with. I chose Pear Deck and Jamboard based off the data for my professional developments since it seemed to be the most needed. I also wanted to be able to provide support with assessment tools. My administrator wanted to be able to use more assessment tools in this classroom setting since we were virtual and couldn't use paper and pencil as much. I used those categories to help me guide my Technology Tuesday topics like quizzes and Edpuzzle, and also were able to use the other tools as additional things we could discuss during those days if we needed to. I also provided that time to be able to allow participants to ask any other tools that they may need assistance with. Starting with my professional development, I have 2 professional developments. One was in October and the next one will be in December. The first session I had was a Zoom session synchronously on Pear Deck. With this session, I was able to teach participants what Pear Deck is, how it can be used, what's already made and available for them. I provided time for them to explore and collaborate with their colleagues, and also be able to start creating their own. During this session, I was able to show participants how they can use it for different subject areas, how they can show it in the classroom also and see different results from students' responses, or be able to use it asynchronously for assignments as well. Since everyone was not able to participate during this synchronous session, we recorded it for us to be able to keep on our school drive. On our school drive, we allow participants to have a folder that has other technology tool supports that they may need during this virtual learning process. We also include other shared products from colleagues to help provide additional support with using more technology tools. My next professional development will be in December, and it will be on Jamboard. Tech Tuesdays. Tech Tuesdays, we met once a month on a Tuesday to be able to understand more about different assessment tools and any other technology integration tools needed. My first session did not go so well. I learned very quickly that with virtual learning, our schedules did not match up, and it was very difficult for us to be able to find time to all meet together. For my second session, I tried to set up a time that seemed to be most suitable for most participants. Things got away from most of us, just like they always do when we get busy, and I did not end up having many participants as well. I ended up making changes, and participants wanted more one-on-one support. Colleagues reached out and were able to ask for support on different tools they needed help with, and be able to provide one-on-one support through Zoom sessions. During these sessions, I was able to help them walk through their different tools that they needed assistance with, and be able to help them understand more about what tools are appropriate for what they're trying to create. For my future sessions, I've learned that it is much better to do more individualized learning. So I created a schedule that will be used for the Tech Tuesday week that we normally have scheduled for the month, and it allows participants to sign up for their own time that's suitable for them in order for me to provide additional support. Feedback is really important to me to help grow as a learner. After my first professional development, I sent out a feedback survey using Google Forms to be able to understand if my participants learned from my session and what kinds of things they took from it. I learned from the feedback forms that many participants were excited to start using it and were very encouraged now that it seems less daunting on how to use it. I also wanted to know how I could make improvements. Since we are having another session, I wanted to be able to make sure that I'm accommodating all learners. The feedback I received was that participants wanted more time to be able to practice and share with their colleagues. I understand this need because myself, I also would like more time to practice things in order to understand them. I also had participants respond with needing a question and answer time to be able to have that. We had a very short amount of time at the end and only were able to answer a few questions, but I understand wanting that. I also know that some participants wanted more checks for understandings throughout the process and multiple sessions to help them break up the sessions into smaller pieces. Now I'll use this information to help guide me with my next professional development in December. Throughout my internship process, I had key concepts that I met. The first key concept I met was 5.1. Candidates will be able to develop an online facilitation plan on best practices of online learning and teaching that demonstrates their ability to teach in the online environment. During this virtual learning, I had to make things different. We did Zoom sessions instead, since we had to make everything online. I was able to make sure that I kept my online presentation engaging for learners so that all were participating. I also created our school drive that allowed us to be able to share with colleagues who couldn't participate synchronously during our session and be able to share other colleagues' creations that they've made as well. Along with Tech Tuesdays, I was able to meet with other colleagues one-on-one to provide additional support as well, since we are now in an online environment. The second key concept is 12.1. Candidates will be able to apply models of change to understand the current situation of technology innovation in a school. I was able to understand that with our virtual setting, we needed to be able to make some changes. I knew that we needed to be able to integrate more technology tools and be able to move up the ACOT model so that we are not just at the entry level. I also made sure to include Eli's conditions of change to help tailor instruction and provide additional supports for my participants so that they can make real change happen at our school. The next key concept was 14.2. Candidates will be able to demonstrate the ability to lead technology initiatives at the school or district level. Together, I worked with my administrator to determine what our school needed in terms of technology resources. I wanted to be able to inform my participants of what's out there and available and be able to assist them by teaching them how to use them in the classroom now that we are in a virtual setting. The next concept was 15.1. Candidates will be able to apply models of professional learning to begin the process of real change in school. In order for us to make real change, we needed to make sure that we had participants who knew what they were unfamiliar with so that we're not repeating anything. I wanted to be able to provide learning that was individualized to my learners and be able to teach them how they can use these technology tools in their classroom during this virtual setting. I also wanted learners to be able to continue to grow and use these tools for the future, even after we are done with virtual learning. And the last key concept was 16.2. Candidates will be able to determine and implement the best approaches to improving their technology integration efforts through a continual process of self-evaluation and reflection. Throughout this internship process, I kept a journal. This helped me reflect and understand more about myself as a learner and as a leader. I wanted to be able to use feedback from my participants as well to understand how I can make improvements and make future sessions better. I also wanted to make sure that I address these changes and make sure that I am trying to make improvements throughout the way. Using this continued self-reflection, it allows me to help grow and be able to integrate best practices. I want to thank you very much for allowing me to present my internship. I appreciate you listening. If you have any feedback or comments for me, please feel free to email. Thank you.